an undefeated professional with 26 victories. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, y puro Los Angeles, California, Vargas. He has 31 victories. Fighting out of Palm Springs, California, Bradley.
Here's the line right here. 12 rounds, touch him up. Good luck. Come out at the bell.
Vargas should have an advantage in a jabbing contest, at least to begin with.
And let the fight come to him and not try to force it.
Well, Jim, you pointed to the decreased activity. Just the type of fighter who Bradley has outwilled throughout his career and wound up done.
Can read Bradley's mind right now. He's got knockout written all over. Get that knockout, but don't go looking for it.
Physical strength, not the same thing as punching power. Bradley.
And it hasn't really ever shown up in the ring. It seems to be something that is a mantra for him.
He can muscle you around the ring. He's as physically strong as he is mentally tough.
Which carries him from round to round throughout his life.
Go, Justin. 139 pounds, and to this day, that was one of my toughest fights. Not necessarily because of the Bradley is intimidated by him, and I think he misread Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley is not well.
Hard right hand by Bradley to end the round. And now we go to round two.
So much, but get going.
Yeah, so far the fight is taking place when Bradley wants it to take place.
And for Vargas fighting a...
Vargas. Jessie Vargas' best punch of the fight so far. Solid left hook to the body. Bradley had...
Just missed a big right hand.
Language is different in the wake of that solid left hook to the body that Jessie Vargas landed.
Vargas is the longer fighter, and when he was pumping that jab.
All right, free hands. You don't need me. Free hands.
That's what he's got to do, Maxie. Beautiful long-range punches. Good shot right there. Good right hand.
Yes.
Good body shot. Good exchange. That's what he's got to do.
Confidence in round two. Stepping into these combinations and competing directly with Tim Bradley. Bradley sets up for a left hook. Never really managed for a way to reestablish his own momentum.
Yeah, Vargas mixing it up nicely to the head and body.
And just to get off the shot. And there's another good left hook to the body. Bounces in the round.
Oh, good uppercut from Bradley.
Bradley landing the uppercut. May have found a new weapon to work. Best of them, but of course, in that same year, we had the first fight.
Tim being the shorter fighter trying to work and counter like he's done several times with that right hand.
Yeah, when Bradley loads up, as he did against Pacquiao.
And Vargas is...
May proceed from the question of whether he can put other punches with the 1-2.
Bradley got a very unpopular one against Pacquiao. But Tim is conscious of that.
All right, you're holding. Free him up. Free up those hands. Let him go.
Bradley trying to convince us yesterday, I am at a high water mark for hunger in my career.
He's very motivated coming into this fight, but that could be his downfall if it's not controlled in this fight.
As range, and starts firing the kind of shots that can make Bradley pay if he gets caught with them coming in.
Moments in the fight, he's just more willing than Jessie. This crowd chanting for Tim Bradley.
Good right hand from Vargas.
That's the kind of right hand I'm talking.
Uppercut from Bradley, uppercut again. Vargas got in one quick left hook. Tim Bradley. Crowd oohing and eyeing. Hard right hand again from Bradley. Great body shots from Bradley on extended his arm.
Well, that's a good fight.
All night, which is a slip move. He slips a jab, starts with the left to the body, the right to the body, ends with a nice left hook to the top of the head that buzzes Jessie Vargas.
Yep.
This is the kind of fight, as we spoke about.
Yield an advantage in any one direction or another, seemingly somewhat controlled by...
that Vargas is going to have to show that he's not just a good fighter. He's fighting an elite fighter. Good combination from Timothy right.
Even as Tim is coming in and getting the better of exchanges, though, Vargas is...
Really like to see both fighters using the jab. While
He's not a knockout puncher, but he is. There's no easy fights for him. He's always expected to fight a real opponent.
But as we saw in the fighter meeting yesterday, his mind is made up. He wants to fight tonight.
Right.
Bradley's going to always earn his money.
if you like action fight, throwing an average of 49 punches per round in his last 3 fights after the all. He's exceeding that level in most of these rounds.
Nice short right hand from Bradley.
For him to assert himself and win these rounds, he has to be the one to get inside.
I agree. I think he's got the more, but this is what he's got to do tonight.
And I think Bradley has decided whether
Vicious exchange from both fighters. Some big shots landed right there from Jessie Vargas. Tim Bradley tries his own hook. He misses. Vargas comes right back with a...
He doesn't get hit as much.
And he's keeping Vargas on the defensive.
I think Vargas actually may be slightly sharper, but Bradley, as you said, Jim, he's bringing
Peterson, like Devin Alexander, basically just faded away in the pick for why some guys, like Abregu, like Lamont, trading body shots. Bradley putting
Vargas's face starting to...
Nice three-piece from Vargas. Nice answer from Timothy. Nice exchange from both fighters.
Timothy Bradley. You know, Jim, Jessie Vargas has taken to just back it up. Look, first, do what Andre Ward does. Get off first. Get the guy's face.
And Bradley's asserted himself right from the opening bell.
Once again, Tim's trying to dip his head to land that big right. He landed it, but there's a reason he's not coming forward against Tim Bradley tonight.
Yeah, at times on even terms, but it's Bradley initiating, it's Bradley bringing the fight.
Can that match it? Or am I just go outbox this guy tonight? Vargas is trying to outbox him and be patient.
This is a round in which both guys have, with right hands, get inside and land a few body shots and make sure.
All right, whoa. Don't lean us.
Joel is hyper enthusiastic much of the time anyway. And I imagine.
And Tim seemed to have his mind made up at the beginning of training camp. Good secret.
We're smelling premature celebration from somewhere during the fight.
Well, it happened in.
Wasn't that just last week?
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. You're working every day. Bradley almost goes through the ropes, landing. He's not going to make an imprint on Tim Bradley constantly backing up. He's got to go forward if he's going to have it. Command of the self, belief in the self, all those things coming.
The later rounds are coming on. He's not able to keep up with Tim Bradley. Thing to detour Timothy Bradley right now.
Good, hard.
Him to initiate and create his own offensive opportunities.
But he's right back on him. And it's not that Vargas doesn't have the ability or the arsenal.
Between his attack and what Vargas has done, 1, 1, 1, 2. But it took him 2 minutes and 50 seconds to get to that point in the round.
And I think Bradley...
And you can see the difference in landed punches in this round.
He wanted that. That's why he's going into more of a shell defense. He's trying to encourage Vargas to throw the...
7 rounds to 2. Timothy Bradley. You know, Jimmy, if this isn't effective aggressiveness, I've never seen effective aggressiveness. But on the...
It's a good, tough fight, and especially the first 6 rounds or so. Falling short of being the kind of fight you remember, not because of Bradley, but because Vargas.
Vargas is a nice fighter who doesn't have any particular weapon that will cast fear into the heart of the opponent. We want that this plateau is an unbeaten fighter, and he's done nothing in this particular fight.
And it forced Bradley to go to new places that you know.
The same level as the level to which Tim Bradley has willed himself through competitive desire.
Or, you know, places you don't ordinarily have to see athletes go to.
It's not one-sided enough to call it a man against a boy. But in terms of competitive temperament.
Rounds, especially in extolling Bradley's competitive virtue, and there you see
personnel at ringside. Oh, Bradley has a cut under his left eye.
His opponent winning another round by a small margin.
Yeah, but as a fighter, I hand from Jessie Vargas about 10, 15 seconds ago.
And sometimes you get an unpopular decision, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the judges consistently favor one fighter.
Something demonstrative in the 12th round.
With an exclamation point on this round. And Vargas has had some success.
Ooh, good shot.
Stop the bell.
Second consecutive fight. I mentioned how Vargas started to fall apart. Bradley's face didn't look great
against Chavez. That was because of butts. This is not because of butts. This is
inject what he knows Vargas needs to do into him, but he can't.
Hard right hand by Vargas. Another 1-2 from Tim Bradley.
And is it at least let Vargas create the impression that he's being aggressive.
Perhaps, and he could relax a little bit in the late rounds, conserve Joel Diaz, who told him along about the 8th or 9th sure of finishing the fight in good order. Less than 30 seconds to go. Hard right hand by Vargas. Wobbles Bradley.
Yep, Tim is out on his feet. Better.
Not time to.
Oh, no,
I'm not
no.
sure what in the world Pat Russell is doing.
Pat Russell thought he heard the bell. He heard the 10-second warning. He stopped the fight because he felt the bell had rung. Vargas is celebrating as though he won by stoppage.
Clearly there was nothing that happened there that would have prompted Pat Russell to stop the fight. Although Vargas
is that Tim Bradley, by no means, was certain to finish this fight with 10 seconds to go.
So the scorecards will determine who has won the fight, and not the celebration by Vargas.
Referee Pat Russell signaled the end of the round, not the end of the fight. As for the winner, by way of unanimous decision, and now, interim WBO welterweight world champion, Timothy